In this video, I'll be testing the Lagom Casa against the Weber Workshop's Key and the Kafatek MC6. And let me just say, the results might not be what you expect. Right, so in this video, we will be looking at how these three grinders here are different from each other. And I will mainly be looking at how they perform for espresso, because I kind of view these three as mainly espresso grinders. Right, so let's start off by looking at the Lagom Casa. This grinder, I've had it for a few months now. It is actually the latest version from Optional. Comes with their 65mm Meisenber. And what's interesting to me is the way Optional are marketing this grinder. It is a kind of best of both worlds sort of grinder. It does espresso very well, and it also can do filter. So it sits in these two camps, and it's actually interesting. You'll see in this video, but the flavor profile coming out of this thing is pretty impressive given it's only $500. I mean, $500 is not a small amount, but if you compare it to these two here, we are looking at a pretty big price difference. So Lagom Casa here, interesting grinder. It's a stepless adjustment here. One of the downsides of this grinder, if you ask me, is it can be a bit rough at times. As you see here, like as I'm turning, I kind of need to hold the base here in order to get it where I want it to go. And they give you these stickers here. I'm not sure if you guys can see them, but yeah, they help you to keep track of where you are. And yeah, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. It runs at 140 RPM, and yeah, it is it comes with a magnetic catch cup as well, and a built-in ionizer, which is supposed to help you when you grind. So it reduces static basically, and yeah. Then we have the Weber Workshop's Key. Main difference between these two, I mean, other than the price, this one, believe I got it for about $2,200 or $2,300. I don't remember exactly. So it basically costs 4 times more than the Lagom Casa. Is it 4 times better? We shall see. This one comes with the Mazer 83mm burrs in here. So no doubt the biggest burr set is in the Weber Key. Does bigger mean better? Well, I believe that, like in my case, I don't think it does mean that it's better. Of course, you can talk about more potential, like more surface area, and you know, it sort of speeds up the process and all. But size doesn't mean, at least not in my case, that it tastes better. But it is certainly interesting because the flavor profile, which you guys will see, is a bit interesting if you compare it to these other two here. Main difference here is this one comes with a, let me see if you guys can see it. You have an RPM button right here. It goes all the way from 50 RPM all the way up to, I believe, 150 RPM. I usually keep it at 90, sort of in the mid-range. I find that to be pretty good and pretty consistent. Yeah, it's a pretty neat grinder. It has a magnetic catch cup here, similar to the Casa. And this is the magic tumbler, so it sort of attaches itself like that. And yeah, pretty easy, pretty smooth to use, I would say. Can be a bit finicky at times as you dump in the beans in here. This is the MK2 version of the Weber Workshop's Key. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, it comes with this one here that it's sort of a prevents popcorning. So it's a magnetic disc that you put here. And yeah, pretty easy to use as well. But as I said, it can be a bit finicky sometimes to dump the beans in, especially if you RDT. And trust me, you do have to RDT with this thing, even though it's pretty clean. But one of the things that I do like about the Kafatek MC6 is I don't know if you guys can hear, but it is super quiet. And I really enjoy a quiet grinder in the mornings. So it's very easy to use that way. And it has this one has a purge button as well. And then a knocker. Yeah. It has, of course, I mean, not everything is great. I wish the RPM dial, the RPM display, most of all, I wish it was more visible. You kind of have to turn it around like this, and then you sort of see it there. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use. You dump your beans in here, and then you have to use the bellows towards the end. I will be looking at the flavor profile. That will be my main goal, to look at how different are they in terms of taste. And the coffee I'll be using in this video is a coffee from Intelligentsia. It's a washed Peruvian coffee. I don't have the bag, but I have the beans in these tubes. All right, so the espresso recipe I'll be using will be in 19 grams in. I will aim for around 44, 46 grams out in around 24 to 26 seconds, basically. And I will be using the Flare 58 and with the step down basket from Graph. It's pretty awesome, this basket. I can't recommend it more. It's very forgiving. It gives you very balanced shots, very sweet shots of espresso. And yeah, I'm just gonna hope that this will make dialing in easier. So yeah, let's go. I'm not gonna show you guys how I dial them in, because that will take forever and it'll be a mess. So I'm gonna just pull the shots, and then I will see you in a few seconds when I have the coffees ready. All right, welcome back. That literally took forever, but we are done. And let's see here. I have, this is the Weber Key. This is the Lagom Casa. And this is the Kafatek MC6. Took a while, took a lot of shots to get them where I wanted, but I would say this is as close as I can get them when I dial them in. Let's do the MC6. Let's do the Weber Workshops Key. Getting a lot of plum, dried fruits, maybe like dates. There's also something very sweet here. Some kind of floral notes. Reminds me a bit of, I think, like kind of like, I wouldn't say lemonade, but yeah, some kind of like pear juice or pear. It has a bitterness in the finish. This is something that, I don't know, but it seems to be something with the Weber Key that you can get very good shots from it if you use like a medium to dark roast. This was a Intelligentsia's espresso roast. Let me just check the coffee that I used. All right, so the coffee that I used for these three is a Peruvian coffee roasted by Intelligentsia. It has notes of pear, Rainier cherry, and dates. All right, so the Weber Key, as I said, has a lot of body. This is a kind of a full-bodied shot, I would say. But again, there is that pear juice, sort of a lemonade in the finish. It is a bit bitter in the finish. Let's do the Lagom Casa. Interesting. Getting more strange. I'm getting a bit more florals from the Casa. I don't know why. Kind of like cherry blossom. Oh my goodness. They are very similar. The Casa isn't as bitter in the finish as the Key is. Again, we're not talking about a huge amount of bitterness. We are talking about a tad more bitterness in the finish from this guy here. Let's do the MC6. Okay. This one is the most balanced one of all of these three. It doesn't have that sort of intense lemonade kind of finish that this one had. The Casa seems to be the most juicy one of them all. The MC6 I think is the most sweeter one. Like, it's very sweet. You're hit with acidity at first. But then the finish is sort of, it's like, it doesn't leave you with a bitter sensation on your tongue. It's like smoothens it out in a way, the rough edges of the acidity, because this is a very this espresso is very juicy and it can be a bit, I wouldn't say acidic, but it is sort of on that side. It's like very juicy. Let's do the Weber Key again. Okay, I'm getting a lot more dried plum as it cooled from the Weber Key. It's not as bitter anymore, which is interesting. Let's do the MC6. I mean, they are different. All of these three shots here are different, but they are different in like, we're not talking about night and day differences here. I just want to make that 100% clear. It's not like the Kafatek MC6 is 10 times better than the Key or the Lagom Casa. And same goes, it's not like the Weber Key is a lot better than the Casa and vice versa. They bring out different like notes of the coffee. That's the best way I can describe it. Different attributes of the coffee. If you mainly drink light roasted coffee, you like, let's say 1-to-3 ratio, 1-to-4 even, I might go with the Kafatek MC6 because it just makes light roasted coffee taste amazing, in my opinion. I like it for medium roasts as well, but if I do a medium roast, I might do like a 1-to-2 ratio. If I do a dark roast in here, I might do like a ristretto style shot at 1-to-1. I would say it all depends on what coffee you drink, right? I mean, if I'm drinking like a Cafe Lusso, medium roast, dark roast, I usually go for the Weber Key. Not because I'm gonna drink that espresso straight, but because I'm gonna add milk to it. And I know it sounds strange, right? I mean, if you're gonna add milk in your espresso, you might as well go with this one. I don't see the point of like going that much more if you are gonna have like a latte to use the Key for that. You can use a cheap grinder. I just happen to like the lattes more from the Key. I don't know what it is, but it gives you that kind of full-bodied, like, it's weird to say, but you can almost still taste what kind of espresso it is in a way, even if you have milk in it when you use the Key. While, like, if you're doing the Lagom Casa here, I find it to be perhaps more enjoyable if you drink it straight, like a 1-to-2 ratio. I usually reach out for the Lagom Casa. So I would say it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for like bang for your buck, go for the Casa here. I mean, this one is pretty damn good at what it gives you. It gives you a very good espresso. As you saw, it was a bit difficult for me to distinguish them. It depends on like how well you dial it in. I try to dial these in as good as I could. But of course, like if I were to use a different bean, this one might shine more, right? So my conclusion here, which of these grinders should you get? I would say it depends on your budget. If you have if you're looking for a cheap grinder that can do filter as well as espresso, go with the Lagom Casa. You're not gonna regret it. I mean, I did a video yesterday. I made a pour over with the Casa here. I really enjoy using it for pour over. Maybe a bit more than espresso, to be honest. But as I said, right, depends on what coffee I use. Most of the times, if I'm using a natural processed coffee, like a natural processed Ethiopian coffee, I'll probably use the Casa. Yeah, this was my comparison of these three grinders here. Let me know if there's anything I've missed in this video. If there is anything you would like me to, you know, make another video about with these three grinders or with a separate grinder here. Let me know if you'd like to see a pour over video where I compare how different the pour over is from these three. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and like. It really helps me to stay motivated to make these videos. And yeah, thank you so much, and I wish you all a good day.